Hey guys, and welcome to a new music class with Miguel. Today we're going to begin learning what the blues is, finally. Now that you know how to play the shuffle, we're going to move on to the blues. But before we do the blues in a deep way, we have to learn what chords we're going to be using in the blues. So this is what this session is going to be about. The objective of this lesson is that by the end of it, you will be able to know what chords you need to know to play the blues. Clear and to the point. First, what is the blues? As a short introduction, the blues is a music style created in the early 20th century by African Americans in the south of the United States. It has become very popular and it became the influence of many music styles that you all listen to today. Everything came from the blues. Rock and roll, rock, pop, disco, funk, everything. Everything came from the blues. Heavy metal, you name it, jazz, everything came from the blues. So it's very important that you know how to play the blues, especially for guitar players. Now, to play the blues, we only need three chords, no more and no less. Three chords, and that is it. So pretty simple. Today we're going to learn a technique to know exactly what chords we should use. Now, let's say we want to play a blues in G. Okay, that means that we're going to be playing in the key of G. Don't get too much into it, just follow me. So let's say we want to play a blues in G. This means our first chord will be a G5. We're going to be playing only power chords, that's why I say G5. So G, the note, if you remember from our third power chord lesson, G is right here on the 6th string, 3rd fret. So we build a power chord from there. And here we have the diagram, G5. We build a power chord on the 6th string, 3rd fret. There we go, that's the first chord. The second chord is going to be a C5, built on the 5th string, 3rd fret. So simply, from G5, the first chord, we move everything one string down. And then we have C5. Here's the diagram of the chord beginning on the 5th string, 3rd fret. So we have two chords now, G5 and C5. Finally, the third chord is going to be D5 on the 5th string, 5th fret, right here. So it's like C5, but 2 frets higher. 1, 2, here. Here's the diagram. Okay, a power chord beginning on the 5th string, 5th fret. So we have the three chords. We have G5, C5, and D5. Now, to sum it up, these are the three chords you need in the blues. Now, look at this diagram. We have the first chord beginning on here, then the second chord beginning here, and the third chord begins here. The first chord begins here, second chord begins here, and third chord begins here. Now it's very important that you remember this shape, this one right there, for the first chord, the second chord, and the third chord. The beginning points, the starting points. Remember this shape. It's like an L shape, an inverted L, because that way we're going to know how to play the blues chords in any key. So we learned blues in G, but now let's see an example of blues in F. Okay, so we know that F is on the 6th string, 1st fret. So if we are going to be doing a blues in F, the first chord begins here, the second chord begins here, and the third chord begins here. Here we have it. First chord, second chord, and third chord. So we have these three chords for blues in F. Chord number 1, chord number 2, and chord number 3. Okay, and then we have the three chords for blues in F. Another example, blues in A. A is on the 6th string, 5th fret. So here we have chord number 1 begins here, chord number 2 begins here, and chord number 3 begins here. So we have these 3 chords for blues in A. Chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3. Okay? Since the blues in G, the first chord is G5, the blues in F, the first chord is F5, and then the blues in A, the first chord is A5. So we have the blues in A, blues in G, and blues in F. Okay, those are the 3 chords in those 3 keys, G, F, and A. So what you're going to do right now as your task is you're going to record yourselves playing the 3 chords in these keys, blues in F sharp and blues in A sharp. You can use the diagram that I put 2 weeks ago of where the notes are, or what are the notes names on the 6th string. So you simply find the F sharp on the 6th string and you play those chords. Let me give you an example. Let's say that I give you blues in G sharp, okay, and you go to that picture and you find out that G sharp is on the 6th string, 4th fret. So if you follow the same shape I did before, that means that in G sharp, the first chord is G sharp 5, then you move everything 1 string down, and then you move everything 2 frets up. So the 3 chords in blues in G sharp, you would say in the video, are chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3. That is everything you need to do. You play the 3 chords in blues in F here, F sharp, and blues in A sharp. Okay? You don't need to play any strumming pattern, just play the 3 chords in each of the blues I mentioned above. Again, your example or your video should look like this. Blues in G sharp, chord number 1, chord number 2, chord number 3, and then you move to the other key. Okay? If you don't understand, let me know, ask me any questions you want, and then I will gladly help you. So don't forget to practice that, record your video, and I will see you next class. Bye bye.